So, can you start by introducing yourself?
I'm Adam Gallagher, and I currently work at Middlesbrough's Empire as an event manager.
Uh, okay. So, what do you do for the Empire? What is the Empire?
The Empire is a nightclub based in Middlesbrough Town Centre. It's been a theatre, a bingo hall, and currently now a nightclub.
Oh, wow.
So throughout many years, people like Harry Houdini who've performed there. That's how long it's been around. And currently, we've had the likes of Arctic Monkeys in the past, and now we're sort of aiming more at the up and coming bands. Some like the Lottery Winners, the K's, Blossoms had played there as well. So we certainly developed with the times that have been put around us.
Oh, wow. So, how long have you worked there?
Currently, I am in my 6th year of working there. I worked as an apprentice for a promotions company that were working with Empire at the age of 21, and then got a job with the actual Empire to run all their events for them.
So, how would you say the pandemic has affected your job?
The pandemic massively affected the whole industry as nightclubs, events, venues, etc. But I think in terms of me personally, it was a learning curve. From going to work nights for 5 years and then having to develop a sleeping pattern and actually being a sort of normal person in terms of getting up at like a normal time instead of 12 o'clock midday and then going to work like later on the night. It's certainly affected us in that way, but currently we're back in the offices a certain amount of days, obviously COVID safe. I think looking back at the year, it sort of give us enough time to develop new ideas and sort of really rebrand and refocus our energy on how we are going to develop Middlesbrough Empire past all the pandemic and further on as well.
All right. Well, all very interesting. So, what was it like finding out that the Empire was closing?
Originally, we were told that we were going to be closed for a matter of weeks, and we were all like, well, it's nice to have a few weeks off, enjoy the weekends for what we can do whatever we want in that time. But then obviously it went months, weeks, it went further and further into over a year. I think we've had to just literally live by what was being told. We've never been able to go, oh, we're not coming back this year, it's going to happen next year, just write this full year off. 2020 was very weird. We had many things planned. It was probably the perfect year in terms of events. So I think Halloween fell on a Saturday night. Everything like literally fell on a Friday or a Saturday in that industry, which is obviously perfect. And then for for your full year's planning and everything just to be sort of binned off, it does demotivate you. But obviously now being back in and planning for the 21st of June onwards, it's nice to be back after a full year.
I think that's how everyone felt, wasn't it? That it's only a couple of weeks off, time to relax at the start.
Yeah, the whole it's only going to be a couple of weeks. We're going to lockdown for 2 weeks, and then it's extended to months. And you were like, right, it's going to be done by September. We sort of got out slightly around that time, but obviously COVID rules, and then got put back into a lockdown, and it was just like, just keep us all locked down or wait till the vaccines have come out. And it's nice to see that the vaccines are getting rolled out and a lot of people are getting them as well.
Definitely. So, are you excited for the doors to open again?
Yeah, we had a meeting on Monday and we literally said it's weird to be this excited to be back at work, because we've just been sat for a year not doing nothing. I mean, obviously we've done other things in that time, but to be back in that industry that we all like and appreciate, I think we appreciate more now than ever. It's going to be very exciting to to see the doors reopen.
Oh, well, fantastic. It's been a pleasure having you. This is Adam Gallagher. You can find them on Facebook and everywhere else. But,
Thank you very much.
Back to the normal show.
Thanks to Adam there for taking the time out of his day to speak to us. And who knows, when I get down there myself, I might even see him in person. And you know what? I'll be sure to buy him a couple of drinks. One day, we'll finally have guests back in the studio and wave farewell to Zoom. Well, one day. Now, we're all looking forward to lockdown ending after over a year of trying TikTok trends and banana bread bakes. But it wasn't as much as a relaxing few months of work for everyone. More than half of adults and over 2/3 of young people have said that their mental health has gotten worse during the period of lockdown restrictions. Studies found that people being restricted from seeing families and friends are key factors in driving poor mental health. And feelings of loneliness have made nearly 2/3 of people's mental health worse during the past year, with 18 to 24-year-olds most likely to see lockdown affect their mental health. In this short film, we speak to Katie about her own personal journey in lockdown and how it affected her mental health and her ways of overcoming these struggles.
Right. I'm Katie, I'm 24 and I'm a copywriter from Redcar and I suffer from anxiety. Having anxiety can affect you in quite a few different ways, whether it's going to the shop, socialising with your friends, going to work. I think a lot of people who don't suffer with anxiety don't realise the effects that it can have. I can't just go to the shop that's like closest to me. I need to there's only certain shops that I feel comfortable to go in, so I have to need to take a detour just to go to get some bread and milk. Obviously, being in lockdown for the past few months has definitely affected my mental health. It's hard feeling like you're trapped in the house and you can't really go anywhere. I had a routine before lockdown, going to work at 9, coming home at 5. It kind of separated your work and home life. But since lockdown, obviously we were working at home, so there's no separation from work and home life. You kind of it's all mixed into one and there's no real routine, which really did affect me, I think. To manage anxiety in lockdown, I started up a few hobbies just to keep busy. Drawing was one of them. I used to love drawing. I think I have got some drawings in here, to be fair. Oh, my little astronaut. I love that one. I'd started training to do gel nails as a side business, but with lockdown it kind of took a pause. So instead of not doing it, I carried on practicing on me and my mum and family members and stuff. And again, that kept me really busy, just being able to have something to do and something to look forward to at the end as well. I think the thing that helped me the most with anxiety over lockdown was being able to keep in touch with friends still, texting, FaceTiming, ringing them. It brought comfort knowing that they were all in the same boat, really. As difficult as lockdown has been, it has definitely had some positives, in the sense that I've spent a lot more time with family and I feel a lot closer to my family now. It really has made me appreciate life a lot more.
I think we can all relate to that story in some shape or form, so it's lovely to see Katie overcoming her struggle there. That's all we've got time for today, so thank you for joining us. A massive thank you to Adam Gallagher and Katie for taking the time to talk to us. So please, support your local independent stores, restaurants and coffee shops, and make sure to check us out on their Instagram @todayproject. I just wanted to say a couple things before we headed off. I'd really like people to email their problems. That can be found at todayproject@gmail.com. I want to hear everyone's thoughts on this episode and maybe some of the other episodes, see what we can do the news on. And I also wanted to remind everyone to stay safe. That's all we have time for today, so I'll see you again next week. Thank you and goodbye.